1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show.
I think the sun was up there doing its life-giving business. So it just, these sort of numbers make us realize just how, what can we say, how fortunate, is that the word, that we are to be born onto this jewel in space, in the universe, this incredible planet which we see or saw from pictures taken from the moon, and we see this incredible place on which everything we've ever known in history and science has been based, this little part of the universe. Some would say we are insignificant. We're just on an average, going around an average star on an average planet, and we're just neither here nor there. But actually, I don't think of it like that. I think we could be very, very special. We don't know whether there's life elsewhere. Do you believe there's life on other planets?
You mean like aliens?
Well, they would be, yeah. To them, we would be aliens, wouldn't we? But yes, are there people living similar or not similar life to us? Do you think the odds are for that or not?
Whoa. This is the show, isn't it? It's the Alien Spaceship.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. That's why we go on to these subjects.
Yeah, well, the simple answer is no, I don't believe. I believe there are spirit creatures, and there's God. So spirit creatures like angels and God himself, Jesus Christ. Well, besides, outside that, I don't think. I think that's
You don't
all
think so?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
I mean, yes, that's a reasonable point of view. Many would share that with you. I think that ultimately, like so much of life and science and so on, we just don't know. There was a meeting in 1950, a lunch meeting, apparently. There's an American-Italian physicist called Enrico Fermi, and he asked a question at his lunch or his dinner with his scientific colleagues. They were talking about the possibility of life elsewhere in the universe. And he asked the question, where is everybody? And there wasn't really anything they could say to answer that, because he was saying, his view was there must be life elsewhere in the universe, to the point of billions, perhaps, of other similar planets in their Goldilocks zone of their star. Maybe not identical to life on Earth, but life elsewhere. His view was that there has to be, given the odds and the statistics, that we're here in the first place. And he said, where are they? Because in fact, given that the universe is, 13.8 billion years old, or so they tell us,
Right.
some civilizations elsewhere by now would have been able to conquer space travel, interstellar travel, so we would know about them. And he said, where are they? Why are they not contacting us? And that was in 1950. Well, a lot of people, a lot of authorities now would say they have contacted us. Indeed, some say they are here already. I know there are stories of President Eisenhower, I think during the war or just after the war. Apparently he wiped out 3 days of his diary completely, of any meetings, because he was scheduled to meet, he'd agreed to meet some aliens who landed. And of course, you think back to that kind of time, there was Area 51 in America, where it was suggested that an alien spaceship had crashed and that they had bodies there and so on. Now, all these things are said over the years, and some people say, well, it's nonsense, it can't be so. Others say, well, we perhaps should keep an open mind. I think for my part, having read a few books on this, there are so many UFO stories, or they call them UAPs now, unidentified aerial phenomena. There are so many which, there's no logical answer to. There was a place in Britain, I think in about 1980, in the Norfolk area, where a spaceship was supposed to have landed, and it was at an American air base there. I forget the name of the place, but they met with the commander there, and all sorts of elements. There's a book about that, which is quite a fascinating book to read. So for my part, I think they're probably, well, I'm sure there's life elsewhere. As far as
The leader of our gang will make the show go with a bang and fund the aim of everything cast us. And fund the aim of everything cast us.
there's a book about that, which is quite a fascinating book to read. So for my part, I think they're probably, well, I'm sure there's life elsewhere, as far as we can be sure, but I do think there has already been made contact with humans, but that's just a personal view. I don't know whether that's true or not, but there just seem to be too many stories which can't be proven, but they can't be disproved either, that things have been seen, or possibly landed. Anyway, that's really the point of that I'm bringing up. Do we think life is there elsewhere? There are billions of other suns. I think scientists call them exoplanets, but planets which are orbiting a star similar to the sun in a similar Goldilocks zone. It's incredible they can find these in the Milky Way, where there's a good chance of life. And they found about 1,600 of those where they think a good proportion could support life, something akin to ours. So yeah, it's the whole business of astronomy is quite incredible. The distances involved, the way life has emerged, and when you think about it, well before humans, we had the incredible creatures, the dinosaurs, which is, quite an interesting one. And maybe you mentioned about, angels and God and so on. That would be quite an interesting question to ask the good man up there. Why did he put dinosaurs on the earth before humans? I mean, in many ways, the death of the dinosaurs gave birth, or certain mammals survived that, and eventually that gave birth to humans many, many millions of years later. But we are what we are. We're all a bit like, not rats in the trap, but we don't often contemplate, I suspect, our existence or our fragility, or indeed the sheer magic of this life. We're just so used to it, we take it as read. But yeah, it'd be interesting to know whether we share some sort of life with others in the universe. A universe, of course, which is constantly expanding to the point that I think scientists tend to believe now it's infinite. And indeed, there may be multi-universes, multiverses. They just don't know. But incredible that these distances, it kind of rules out interstellar travel for us, doesn't it? We might get to the moon or Mars, but the idea of traveling light years, unless they find some access to other stars through what they call wormholes in space, which they may well do, it can hardly be propulsion of the usual kind, which will get us to other stars or planets. But there we are. So that's what I was introducing as a bit of a mind-blowing topic. One last fact about the sun: it's exactly 400 times bigger than the moon, but it's exactly 400 times further away from the Earth than the moon is, which means we can predict when a lunar eclipse will happen. In other words, the moon will come across the sun, because in the sky, the moon and the sun look exactly the same size. Apart from when the moon gets closer and it's a bit bigger, but they know on lunar eclipses the moon will cover the sun and give this incredible blackout. And again, that's just a quirky fact that the sun should be 400 miles further away, but 400 times bigger. So another little instance of the incredible nature of the sun. And really, with what goes on, it's 15 million degrees centigrade in the center, which would normally make for an explosion, the whole thing should explode. but because of the immense gravity generated by its nuclear fusion, converting the hydrogen to helium, it has, as I say, massive gravity, which keeps the planets circling it. We're not allowed to escape, nor would we want to. But that also stops the sun exploding.
Of our gang will make the show go with a bang and fund the aim of everything customers. And fund the aim of everything customers.